everybody, and welcome back to Milwaukee Beer Review. Even though we're not reviewing Milwaukee beers. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And we've got our special guest with us,
Frank.
Mr. Frank. So, these are beers that came from the European region.
Brussels. I was on vacation in Europe. Head of Amsterdam, Brussels, Germany, Ireland, amongst a few places. And this is actually a craft brewery in Brussels, Belgium. After drinking a couple days worth of Belgian Trappist ales, while I enjoy them, I was kind of craving some craft beer styles that I would see at home. And the Brussels Beer Project delivered on that. So I was able to bring a few of these back. And we're going to sample a few of them today. They actually got a nice tap room, and prominently displayed on their walls a big mural is "Get out of the Abbey and into the playground." So they really like to experiment.
Out of the Abbey. Get out of the Abbey. So, these are very different looking beers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the three we have in front of us, very different looking.
And they're all IPAs, which makes it really unique, the fact that they're all the same style.
Pale ales with a little bit of bitterness, totally different look and feel. So, let's try the first one here. So what are we trying first, Frank?
I'll get the full details. This is the Juice Junkie. This is not one I actually had in the tap room. The next two will be completely unknown to me. But this is their New England IPA. So a very American style of beer, but being done at a European brewery. So it was a fun take for me to see, have that style of beer done in a place where you don't expect that style of beer.
Yeah. This one comes in at, what, 5.4?
The Juice Junkie is at 5.4. You are correct.
All right.
Very drinkable.
A session beer.
Yeah, sessionable beer. Get a little nose on it. Ooh, smells good.
Not quite as hazy as you would expect on a traditional New England IPA. It's a little more yellow and clear, but it definitely has got that more citrusy smell.
Yeah, it's got that. Again, I don't know exactly which hops. I'm sure it says on the label. It smells like those citrus hops, a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of like citrusy flavor coming out.
Light sweetness, good hop character to the nose.
Exactly. Floral, a little floral in there.
A little floral, yeah.
So, all right.
Let's give it a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
These beers are well traveled.
Well traveled. That's not a bad IPA.
It's really tasty. It's really good. It lacks some of the citrus, some of the juiciness I would expect. Given what I was getting on the nose, a good bitterness. I really enjoy the bitterness on it. I just wish there's a little more kind of like juicy sweetness coming out.
I get what you're saying. I think it's really well balanced. It's not overly bitter. It's not a juice bomb of an IPA, of a New England IPA by any means. But that is a super crushable IPA. I mean, it's super crushable. I mean, I could have downed that entire glass full. It was easy drinking. Yeah, it does still have that nice hoppy floralness to it. Quite refreshing.
It's really good. It's got a lot of that standard hop bitterness right up the front, but it's very clean. It's very, very easy to drink. It's very, very smooth all the way through the back end of the beer. This is a very, very solid IPA.
So you're sticking this in Untappd. Where are you putting it? Start with you, Josh.
I'm going 4. I'm going a 4.0 on this. This is solid. This is very, very good.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Frank?
I'd probably stick in that same territory. I mean, is it like a world-class IPA? No, but versus some IPAs where I could, there's a couple of variety of hops where I just don't necessarily like. This one is not bad. This is just a crushable beer. I would drink many of these. I would give it around a 4.
I guess I'm being a little more critical. I'm going to give it 3.25. I think it's really good. 3.25 is still a good score. Let's not pretend like we're
It's
giving.
not a good score.
Yes, it is.
3.25?
Yes.
It's barely above 50%.
It's way up. Okay.
It's like a D minus.
No, God. What are you talking? No. Okay. It's still a very good beer. To your guys' point, it's a very this would be a great tailgate beer. Like, I don't doubt that in any way, shape, or form. But given what I'm getting on the nose versus what I'm getting in the palate, there's just a bit of a disconnect. And I wish I had a little more of that citrus note in the palate that I'm getting on the nose. And that's it. That's my only reason. That's my only reason behind it. So
to disagree, but
still really
beer.
good.
A fun beer to drink.
So, all right.
Sure.
Frank, what do we got
Frank,
next?
What's up next?
Next up, we have got the Baby Loan. This comes in at 7%. And this is something I've never seen before. To my recollection, it is noted on the packaging as a bread IPA. Have you ever seen a bread IPA?
Not that I can think of.
Seen bread pudding.
Yes.
Some
Baby
bread.
Loan travels back to the future, brewed with bread, like in the old times, fresh and New World hops. If you want to, Chinook Crystal Columbus hops, described here as fruity, piney, and floral. So this is one I didn't get to try in the tap room. This was not on tap that day, or if it was, I didn't have it that day. But definitely sounded interesting, and definitely one I wanted to bring home and check out.
All right.
Get a little nose on this one.
Get a little nose on the bread IPA. Ooh.
Pretty mild on the nose. I'm not picking up too
It
much.
is pretty mild on the nose.
It is mild on the nose. It smells closer to what I would consider a traditional like IPA would be, but just not like. It's not like in your like. It's not a bunch or anything. It's not like heavy. I can't think of what I'm trying to think of right now, but
It's a pretty.
It's not overpowering.
It's a pretty standard pale ale nose.
yeah, I think that's a better way of putting it. It lacks some of that bitterness on the nose that you would get from an IPA, but it has still like a very good pale ale scent to it.
Yeah, there's a bit of bitterness there, a bit of maltiness there. It looks solid.
Yeah.
I mean, looking just visually.
Yeah.
It's a solid looking beer. It looks good.
All right. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Okay.
Ooh.
It cleans up really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It starts out a little funky, but where it lands is very traditional, like very bitter, like north of 50 IBUs bitterness scale. Solid beer, actually, really solid at the end of it. At the beginning, it's a little bit off-putting. It's like, whoa, what's happening?
It's got a bit of like a Saison funk throughout the beer, with then the nice like traditional IPA hop bitterness at the end.
Yeah.
I really like this. Like this is really tasty to me. I kind of like that little like funk factor it brings in to kind of like throw off your palate a bit, and then finishes really smooth at that nice like very traditional bitter hot IPA.
Yeah.
The IPA-ness.
To
We
me,
all love IPA-ness.
to me, it is on the nose of the name, and even like the lingering taste. To me, it kind of tastes like a piece of dark wheat bread. Actually,
Yeah.
right away when it finishes, it reminds me of a lot of like a Bell's Two Hearted. Kind of your standard classic IPA with that kind of level of bitterness. Nothing too crazy, but definitely lets you know it's there. It's very unique. I don't know if I've had too many IPA. I mean, as I've said, I've never seen a bread IPA before, so. But definitely unique and definitely a fun try.
On the slight opposite end of the spectrum from the previous one, like I think the first one I had was very like, I can definitely drink a bunch of these. This is not one where I can think like I can just keep downing these all day. Like it tastes filling.
It's
Yes.
strong.
So
For sure.
all right, Frank, where are you sticking this on a scale of 5?
I'm going to stick kind of in the same ballpark. I think the previous one was just a little more my style, but I definitely like the uniqueness of this. I go with about a 3.75.
Okay, Josh.
Yeah, I'm going about a 3.5 on this. I think it's close. It's efforting that 3.75-4 territory, but I think that there's just not quite enough here to get it all the way there. I still think it's a decent beer, but I'm going to put this at a 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 for me.
I think I'm kind of like right in between you guys. Where you guys like? I know you kind of had a strong 3.75. You kind of gave it like a weak 3.5. I'm gonna give it a 3.75 though on my scale.
Okay.
I'm kind of right in the same boat as you guys. I really like it. I think I like the more full body, full flavor it offers in the first one. And I kind of like that fillingness of it. I really enjoy that one. So
Okay.
what are we finishing off with?
We got
All right.
one more beer to go.
Last one, we have the Dark Sister. This is the Belgian Black IPA at 6.66%. I don't think that was on
That was not
accident.
the EA for.
And black IPAs, I've always loved black IPAs. It's kind of a dead style. You do not see that many black IPAs around.
It's very much a raw style
Yes.
beer.
I love this style of beer.
I also really love Belgian IPAs. Another thing you do not see a whole lot of here. So I do like the description here. The ruthless dark sister. When everyone thinks she's dead, she comes back to haunt us. A fan favorite since they started. Delta's evil twin. She's obscure temptress. Long live dark sister. Back again from beyond the grave. That's just a great description.
She died and she's back. So this is going to taste a little bit like Dead Body.
Okay. Yeah. It is. It's a zombie beer, so.
I mean, that's the point, right?
Don't get weird.
I'm just saying. They called it out, not me.
All right, let's get a little nose on this one.
Definitely get that roastiness and that little bit of hoppiness there, too. Not overly hoppiness, but I think the roastiness wins out.
Smells a little like grandma.
Why?
I mean, a little bitter. A little dead.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Well, shall we try it?
It smells pretty good.
Cheers.
How grandma's smelling good. Oh my god. All right. Let's try this shit out.
Oh. See, this is why I like the style so much. It's got that nice just bitterness of the IPA, but then it follows up with that smokiness you kind of get with porters and the darker malts or barley or whatever the hell they use to make it a black IPA. I love the style. I have no idea how they do it. But I love that smokiness that comes behind the bitterness. And that's why I really like these styles. And this one, I wish for a little more smokiness, a little more like Schwartz beer that you kind of get. But this is really well done, really flavorful. I really enjoy this.
I agree. You get the hoppiness, the freshness of the IPA style. You do get that heavier roasted malt taste. It brings you said, those deeper flavors, a little bit of smokiness. Being a Belgian IPA, I was hoping for a little bit more Belgian funk kind of taste to it, which I really don't get. But ultimately, it's still really, really good, in my opinion.
There's not a lot of Belgian characteristics to this.
Yeah.
It's very much hops and bitterness and a little bit of a porter dark character to this beer, which is what you kind of want from a beer like this, to be fair. So I think this is probably my favorite beer of these three.
It's absolutely my favorite.
To be honest. This is really well done. I'm putting this at a 4 1/4. This is a really well-made beer. And I don't even like black IPAs that much, but this is solid. This is really very drinkable, and it's a great beer. It's good.
I agree. In mine, I still think it's tough to say. I mean, I really like it for its style. I think I still prefer our first one, the New England IPA. Just that's more my style. But I'm also still going to give it a 4 because for its style, I think it's really good. I do wish, for being branded as a Belgian black IPA, we would have got a little bit more of that Belgian funkiness to it. But it's a stellar black IPA, and it's just a style you don't see too much anymore.
I'm going to say 4 1/4. I'm right there with you. I think it's a very solid 4 1/4 too. There's no debate if it should be a 4 or 5. There's no debate if it should be a 4. It's really well done. It's got that nice smokiness throughout with that little bit of bitterness. I think it's really well done for the style that it is. So,
if you do want some Belgian funkiness, go take a little draft of my Hip Hop Parade's opening day IPA that's on tap over here. You're going to get a lot of Belgian notes out of that beer. But that being said, this is some solid stuff from
selfless plug.
For beer that's not available anywhere except your basement. But
if you want to come on over, folks. Check us out on the rest of our social media channels. We are on Twitter. We are on Untappd. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are also here on YouTube. So like, comment, and subscribe. And we look forward to seeing all of you in a future Milwaukee Beer Review episode. So thanks for checking us out. And
Thank you for the beer. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. I was glad to bring this beer from Europe back home for everyone to try.
Thank you, Frank, for bringing this from Europe to all of you. So
And I've
thanks
got
for
3
checking
more.
us out. He's got 3 more. He's got 3 more that we'll bring to the channel maybe at some point. So thanks for watching, and we'll see all of you in a future episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.